You're completely wrong about happiness. Today's conventional view of happiness is getting a job, making some money, having a family, retiring, and then all the while you're doing this, you're consuming and buying until it's game over. Millions of people live like this and they die unhappy, feeling like they've missed the point, and that's because they did. And I don't want this for you. So today I'm going to redefine happiness and how to achieve it because everyone, including you, is completely wrong about happiness. You are probably in school or in a 9 to 5 job, and you've been led to believe that if you were just rich, right, all your problems would be solved and it would be like heaven on earth. But have you ever asked yourself, is this actually true? It might seem like a silly question, but if you haven't asked yourself this, it's because essentially you've been brainwashed by society. Right? Society glorifies the ultra rich and glamorizes their lifestyle. Even on social media, right? Influencers are glamorizing the similar lifestyle that they're living and trying to get as close to that celebrity status as possible. All the while, most of them are unhappy and filling this void of sorrow with just material wealth and distractions, never actually solving the root of the problem. It is clearly not the way to lasting happiness. So, what is happiness and what should life really be about? As humans, we get joy from growth and accomplishments, right? More specifically, like the journey of growing towards the accomplishment. And as humans, we can all enter what is known as the flow state, right? Where a task is just above our skill level and just engaging enough to keep us in a state where we're fully immersed in trying to figure out the problem and grow and do better and put out the best work possible. Right? And when you're in this state, it's like pure bliss, right? You have no thoughts, no distractions. You are just doing the task and doing it the best that you can. Think of a time where you were given something to do and it may have taken you like 2 hours, but the time just seemed to fly by, right? This is how you know that you were in that state. I remember, for me personally, when I was first recording a video, right, I had no script, no nothing, just a general idea. And I went in and I just started talking to the camera, and it was like my brain just switched, right? No thoughts were coming in or out of my brain. I was just fully focused on presenting what I knew about the topic. And the second that I stopped recording, it was like I snapped back to the present and realized how immersed I truly was, and it felt amazing. When this happens, it's like I said, there's no thoughts, no distractions. It's just pure immersion in the task. This is where true happiness occurs and what life should really be about. The journey of growth while pushing towards an accomplishment. You can enter this state almost any time and remain in it for hours on end by just figuring out two key things that are going to help you capture the flow state and this deep sense of joy that comes along with it every single day in your life. Firstly, you need to figure out what you love doing so much where it doesn't feel like work to you, but somebody else on the outside, most people actually, would probably look at you and question you for doing it and not understand why you get such joy out of it. Right? This is your task that will put you in the flow state regularly and pushes you to grow and think outside the box of how you normally would and just lose track of time and become fully immersed. But most other people would never even think about doing it. For some people, it's sports. For others, it's writing. Others, it's speaking. Some people, it's acting, right? It can be literally anything as long as you really find true, genuine joy and love for doing the process. Just find the task where the process is more rewarding than the results of your labor and where the difficulty can continually be pushed just high enough to keep you in that state and fully engaged. The athlete who is in the zone, right, they're not thinking about how many goals they might be down by or how many goals they need to score or how many they've already scored, right? They are fully focused on just playing the game, right? They have a role and their sole focus is executing on that role to the best of their ability because they're just fully immersed in the game itself. They are lost to the outside world because of the game and they are just focused on the hunt. You have to figure out what your hunt is, what hunt that you love. And you can do this simply by figuring out what your flow state activity was, right? What you just generally love to do that puts you in the flow state and see where that crosses over with business or some sort of work that is just fulfilling. If you can cross this with something that overlaps into the business realm and something that can actually bring you wealth, it's going to be a lot easier to implement doing this every single day because you have an ulterior goal outside of just the sense of joy. But the process again should still be more rewarding than the results and more the focus than the results. So if you can make money, great. But if not, still just find your task that is your flow task. Pick the one thing that you love to do most in this world and the work that you love to do most in this world and the skill set that is involved in that activity. Next, you need to realize that as long as you're attached to just the results, there will never be any sort of lasting happiness or peace in your life. There will be moments here and there where you are happy, but if your only happiness is tied to your results, then it's never going to be lasting. That's why people who are chasing followers, right? They'll get to 10,000 and they'll be happy for a little bit, but then they want 100,000 and then they want 1,000,000 and then they want 2,000,000 and 10,000,000, right? And it just keeps growing. It never stops because they've tied their self-worth to a number that doesn't really represent who they are or what they enjoy. Take me, for example. If I tied all my happiness around this channel to the views that I got and the channel performance, right, I would never be happy because I'd constantly be comparing myself to the people that are way further than me to where my videos are, right? But I enjoy making the videos, right? I love speaking to you guys. It puts me in the flow state and I love just expressing my ideas. And my love of the process, not the rewards and the results of the process, is what keeps me going every single day, right? It doesn't make a difference to me if I get 1 viewer or 1,000 or 1,000,000, right? Obviously, the results are great, but the reason I do this is for the process. It's to provide value for whoever is willing to tune in and just get into this flow state every single day where my mind is clear, my thoughts are focused on one particular goal, and I'm just trying to provide the most value possible. Right? You have to find your task where your interest and your skills meet up and align to where you can just do this and commit to something every single day that brings you into this mindset. And always, always, always never focus on results. Focus on the process. Results are secondary. When it becomes about the pursuit and getting better at what you do, what I do, right? What you love to do, it's way easier to not only just remain consistent in that and actually build something from it, but you will get a deep sense of fulfillment and joy out of it because the pursuit of getting better and working towards an accomplishment is what we as humans love and where we get our true sense of joy and fulfillment out of that lasts longer than just hitting a milestone in some sort of metric, right? This lasts in our core as something that we have done and we know we've pushed through, right? Seeing yourself go from point A to point B and the growth in between is where we find joy. It's where we find contentment and peace, knowing that we've done something that is worthwhile to us. You have to make your life like this, where you're focused on the hunt and the pursuit. Because if you're not playing the game and you're not playing the game of life, life is going to play you. And that's probably how you ended up wherever you are. You weren't trying to play the game. You were just going along, coasting with whatever the game put in front of you. And life fucked you over. Right? You have to play the game if you want to make progress in the game. Otherwise, you're just going to be carried around in whatever direction the game feels like taking you. And you're going to get nowhere. So figure out what you love to do that keeps you fulfilled and where the process is more rewarding than the results, and that you're at least good or decent at and know that you can get better at. And combine that with some sort of work or business. Social media is definitely the best place to start for any passion. And while some passions, right, don't perform the best on social media, a lot of stuff, even if you have something that people have never heard about, even though that's pretty rare nowadays, if you have something that nobody has ever heard about that you love to do and you bring it to social media, right, people are interested in that unique, novel idea. So literally whatever your passion is, just go for it. And social media opens up endless opportunities and outlets for you to actually express yourself and build up a following and a career. And once you found your thing, all you have to do is just go all in on the process and enjoy the process every single day, right? Don't tie your self-worth to results outside of the process, right? Like money or followers or these types of metrics, right? Tie your self-worth to your personal growth, your personal development, and your discipline and how much fulfillment you get from that thing. If you do this, it's impossible to fail and it's impossible to not enjoy the time that you're spending cultivating this newer version of you that is all in on the thing that you love most. Just doing these two things are going to completely transform how you go about life, how you perform in life, and how happy you are on a day-to-day basis. You will genuinely start getting joy out of a hard day's work and problem solving and growing while everyone else is sitting there getting cheap dopamine hits from Netflix and TikTok and Instagram and just doing that in a cycle every single day just to go to bed and do it up again the next day. You can break free from this cycle. And once you break free, you will find more joy in this than you ever could in a video on your phone or any video games. So just find your thing and go all in, right? Please, for your sake and for your happiness' sake, find that thing and just go all in and do it every single day without fail. If you do this, I promise and can guarantee that you will not only become happier, but find new people and things in life that you never knew were there, and new joys in life that you didn't know were there. So I hope that you take this to heart and that this was valuable to you in some way. And if it was, like and subscribe. And please just find the thing and do it. And as always, stay blessed.